I am so glad that cabbage is finally having its moment. Today I'm making 5 beautiful recipes with cabbage. This is a coleslaw, beautiful tacos. We have Italian cabbage with beans, classic stir fry, but this one's just a little different. And last but not least,
seared and roasted cabbage.
Cabbage is so versatile. First of all, it keeps so long in your fridge, so it doesn't go bad. That makes it the perfect vegetable for limiting your waste. Also, it's full of fiber, so good for your gut health, and it's got protein. It is really the whole package. Cabbage has 56% of your daily vitamin K, and vitamin K is a really important vitamin that we don't talk about very much. 10% of your daily requirement of folate, or B9. It has 36% of your daily vitamin C. Isn't that amazing? Cabbages come in different forms. This is a traditional green cabbage. I've heard it called cannonball cabbage. This is a beautiful purple cabbage which has even more antioxidants. This is more leafy. This is an Napa cabbage, and so these are all going to work in all the recipes, but I'm going to use different ones today. To clean a cabbage, there's really not much you have to do. I'm just going to give it a little rinse. The leaves are really tightly packed, so not much dirt is in there. We'll keep an eye out for it, but there's not much you can do. It's not like you're going to wash every leaf. Quick rinse. Don't want to waste water. Make sure there's no dirt on it. Spray off anything else that might have gotten on it. And then I'm going to dry it. Technically, you can cut off any gnarly leaves, etc., but these are really fine. I'm going to use it up. I don't like to waste. To cut this cabbage, depending on what you're going to do with it, sometimes if I just want a small portion of it, I literally might just cut off a wedge and then chop it because you don't want to waste. But if you're going to use your whole cabbage, I am going to cut it in half on a cutting board. And then you're really just trying to remove this little part right here. So you can just cut it off here. Pretty straightforward. I'm trying to show you so you could also do it on the other side. Don't cut your fingers off. And then that's really the only part you need to get rid of. Everything else we're going to use. The first thing we're going to make is a roasted purple cabbage with a lemon pepper cream sauce. So good. We got this. I'm going to cut it in wedges. This is a kind of small cabbage. Depending on your pan, you might be able to handle a bigger one, but there we go. All I'm going to do is put a little olive oil in my pan, a little salt, and I'm going to sear the cabbages on both sides before I put them in the oven. Whenever you juice a lemon, if you just think before you do it to take the zest off of it, then you can use that zest, mix it with some salt, and have some lemon flavored salt, which is what I'm going to sprinkle on my cabbage. And I'm going to turn it now. It looks like it's going to be great. So I'm going to use my tongs to be professional, but I usually use my hands. And so I got a little brown on it. And I'm going to carefully turn it without trying to break it up. Beautiful. I'm going to keep cooking it. All right, my cabbage is done, so I'm going to put it in my oven-safe dish, and then I'm going to top it with the sauce that we just made. I'm doing enough for 2 people, but the recipe I'm giving you is enough for 4 people. This one I'm going to fit in here. Going to get all that nice roasted lemon salt on there.
Here's the ingredients for the sauce. I've got onions, garlic, cashews, potatoes, and I'm going to throw those into the broth. Then I'm going to blend them up. I'll add the beans and all the seasonings into the blender. The potatoes are soft, the onions are soft, the cashews are soft. All of that into the blender. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast, a cup of northern beans, some lemon zest, because yeah, of course. Some pepper. I'm going to start with half and I'll see how much I'm going to add. Some salt, some cayenne pepper. It's all sticking to the bowl. Okay, I'm going to blend that up.
Now I'm just going to cover it with that beautiful cream sauce we made. Again, this is enough for 2 people, and the recipe you have is for 4. Cover that, and I'm going to put that in the oven until it's fully cooked. gorgeous. We're going to bake this until it's nearly done, then we're going to top it with the butter breadcrumbs and bake it just a little bit more. And of course, by the way, our cream sauce is also full of vegetables, beans, and fiber. I'm going to top the cabbage with some buttered breadcrumbs, and I found this like really reduced price old bread because you know that bread is one of the things that food banks often have way too much of it and that most of us let go to waste. So they make great breadcrumbs. They also make great French toast, and we've got lots of recipes for day-old bread. I'm just going to chop these into little pieces. So I have these little bread cubes, and I melted some plant-based butter. I'm going to add some more lemon zest because that was so good. I'm going to toss in my little bread. This is definitely enough for the full recipe. I'm going to put the breadcrumbs on here. Okay, yeah. This looks so good. Everything with buttered breadcrumbs is good. And vegan butter is amazing, by the way. Going to do some jalapenos. Be careful. You don't really want to encounter the seeds here. And you definitely don't want to touch your eyes unless you want it to be extra hot. Take the seeds out here with a spoon. Try not to touch my eyes. I'm going to make little matchsticks and then cut them across. Cut these pretty small. Okay, I'm going to cut this in half. I don't need all of this today. And again, if I wanted to braise the whole thing, I would cut this out. But I am going to just coleslaw this, so I'm just going to do this way. So I'm going to get that beautiful shreds that I want the easy way. I'm going to stop right there. Take that piece. Okay. Grated carrot. I might need a bigger bowl. Okay. So keep it to the basics. Definitely going to need a bigger bowl. So that's 1 apple, 1.5 cups of grated carrot. I got a big bowl now. I needed a bigger bowl. Okay, here we go. I'm going to make a simple dressing for this coleslaw. I've got some vegan mayo. This one is great, but you can also make your own if you can't buy it. Add some fresh lime juice, jalapeno peppers, green onions, chopped cilantro. Mix that together. Oh my gosh. I know with my heart we're going to need some salt. Good salt in there. I've got this beautiful apple, my big bowl. I like to make my own corn tortillas. It's actually very, very simple. You can use yellow masa or blue masa. It takes no time at all and it really elevates your dish. But of course, you can always use store-bought tortillas. So however much masa you want to use, you're just going to use equal or a little bit less of water, a little bit of salt, and just pour your water in. Okay. I'm going to stir that around. And then I'm going to get my hands dirty. You just want to do this by feel. You want it to not be too sticky, and then you're going to knead it around for a couple of minutes. That's really all there is to it. I want to make sure it's not too cracky. If it is, I need to add some water. If it's too dry or too moist, I would add a little more masa. But I think it's perfect. So I'm going to put it in that same bowl and let it rest under a towel for 15 minutes while I deal with the dogs. Now I'm gonna make some tacos. I made the homemade tortillas and now I'm gonna fill them with cabbage and grated tofu. And I'm just going to use traditional taco seasoning and some nutritional yeast. So I'm gonna use the wide end of a box grater, the bigger grate. Okay, great. So I'm gonna pat a little moisture out. Not a lot, I don't wanna squish it. Okay, then I'm gonna toss in taco seasoning. For 1 block of tofu, I'm gonna use 1, 2, and the rest I'm gonna put on the cabbage. 2 tablespoons of that. 1.5 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Toss that together. Now I'm going to place this on my baking sheet. Now you have choices. You could just cook this in a skillet. It'll be a little softer. Just try not to turn it too often. You could cook it in an air fryer. I'm going to cook it in the oven with a little bit of an oiled cookie sheet. And it might get a little crisper this way, so it's up to you. However you like it. A little softer, a little crisper. It will all work. About 1/3 of the cabbage, 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning, add some water to that, and put the lid on it. Cabbage, onions, and garlic, classic. Okay, I'm going to take my homemade tortilla. You can use store-bought tortillas. I'm going to put my tofu on first so it stays in there. It's all crumbly. Top it with my garlic and cabbage and onion mixture. Ooh, maybe a little avocado, some more cilantro. You could put salsa on here, anything you want, but it's so delicious. Lots of protein, lots of fiber. We're going to put the onions in our hot oil, break them up, and a lot of pepper. Okay. That smells good. This is chopped garlic. Beautiful. Hot, too hot. I can't think of what I was gonna say. Of course, cabbage makes an amazing stir fry, and I made this one just a little bit different by using lots of ginger, adding some macadamia nuts, and believe it or not, some raisins. If you don't like one of those, you can leave them out. If you don't have macadamia nuts, you can use cashews or pistachios, whatever you want, but this really ups the flavor. Nice size cubes. Just if you want it like that, you know. But then if you want to get it really minced, then you use your knife. Again, like flat. Algae oil, actually. That's roasted garlic. And I'll let that get shimmery. Garlic. I've got leftover cabbage from other dishes. I'm going to add different colors, different kinds. This will accommodate anything you have. Shredded carrots. You can grate these or you can buy them this way if you don't have time. All this grated ginger, tamari. 1/3 cup of raisins. Make a little well in the middle. Really flakes, since I should have added that before. I'm gonna scoop this in here. beautiful stir fry. So colorful with all the different cabbage, full of protein. Also from the tofu and the macadamia nuts, healthy fats, so much fiber. Absolutely delicious. These are the 5 things that I made with cabbage today. They're different, they're all delicious. Here we have Cilantro Lime Coleslaw. That has jalapenos and green onions, some apple. It's so fresh and tasty with just the right amount of spice. To go with that, I have these beautiful tacos. I have grated tofu with taco seasoning and cabbage and onions, and then some cilantro and some avocado. And I made homemade tortillas, but you don't have to. You can use the ones from the store. So delicious. This one, we have Italian cabbage with beans, fennel popping in there. This is so delicious with some beautiful garlic, olive oil bread. Cannot wait to eat that. Stir fry. Classic stir fry, but this one's just a little different. It's cabbage, onions, lots and lots of ginger, carrots. I added some macadamia nuts and raisins for sweetness, and of course some tofu. So good. This is roasted cabbage with a lemon pepper cream sauce. So delicious, topped with these beautiful buttery breadcrumbs. And there's a secret. There's beans in the sauce. Hidden fiber. This would make an amazing main dish. And you know what? You could have any of these together, separately, make them a staple of your life. Mix this with this. Cabbage can do almost anything. Except dessert. We couldn't find a good dessert.